Good morning to all our grade 7 learners. This morning we're going to have a revision lesson on general paper. That's what we're going to be looking at. So Irene, I hope you are also ready. We're going to look at our paper, and it is from numbers 1 up to number 50. So I'll be recording, I'll be checking here on my question paper as you are also answering, all right? So the first question, I'm going to read the question, and you're going to listen to all the options. Those are the answers which I'm going to give you, and you're going to choose quickly the correct one, all right? So let's work with the time that we have. We'll be able to answer all the questions. Right, so the first question, it says, a dash is a group of people who worship together. And my options are A, people, B, family, C, church, and the last one is mosque. A dash is a group of people who worship together.
C, church.
Right, that is correct. Okay, so you've read the first one. Right, then the second one, it says the first person to be created by God was dash. Was it Eve? Was it Adam? Was it Abraham? Was it Sarah?
Eve.
The first person?
Eve.
Yes, you said it was Eve.
Yes.
Are you sure? Who was the first person to be created by God? Listen to the answer.
I mean Adam.
Yes.
Adam.
Yes, that is very correct. So you must make sure that you listen carefully to all the answers, all right? So number 3, let's quickly go on. Welcoming visitors in our homes is called what? Is it reconciliation? Is it intolerance, hospitality, or is it baptism?
Hospitality.
Yes, that is correct. All right. Then the next question, it says, what sort of buildings would you expect to find in a commercial area? What sort of buildings would you expect to find in the commercial area of a big city? Would you expect to find factories, houses and flats, open land, or schools? In a commercial area, what kind of buildings would you find?
Schools.
Would find
Schools.
schools. Right, listen to the answers once more. You've got factories, you've got houses and flats, you've got open land, and you've got schools. In a commercial area,
Open land.
right,
It's open land.
you'd expect to find what, Irene?
Open land.
You'd expect to find factories. That is a commercial area. That's where a lot of work is done. That's where you find industries. All right. So when there are industries, you'll also find factories. All right. So they manufacture a lot of things there. Okay. Right. Then let's go to the next one. It says the most common rock. The most common rock in Zimbabwe is dash. Is it granite? Is it metamorphic? Is it quartz or dwala? Which is the most common type of rock?
It's granite rock.
Right, that is correct. That is now science, isn't it? Right, thank you.
Yes.
Right, let's go on to number 7. The Holy Spirit descended on the disciples at dash. Was it ascension, Pentecost, resurrection, or Holy Spirit? When did the Holy Spirit descend on the disciples?
On Pentecost.
Very correct. All right. What do we call decayed animal matter? Is it mulch, dung, compost, or humus?
Humus.
Correct. Right. In a desert, nomads use dash for shelter. Do they use igloos, pyramids, tents, or log cabins? In a desert, nomads use dash for shelter.
They use tents.
Yes, they use tents. What about Eskimos live in what? What do we call their shelter? Is it an igloo, a pyramid, a tent, or log cabin?
Igloo.
Yes, they make it out of ice, isn't it? Then they make their shelter, which we call igloos. Dash baptized Jesus. Was it Abraham, John the Baptist, Peter, or God? Who baptized Jesus?
John.
It was
John the Baptist.
Yes, that's very correct.
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist. All right. When Jesus was baptized, the Holy Spirit came down in the form of a what? Was it a dove, a cloud, fire, or water?
A dove.
Correct. Right. The two people in the Bible who lied and died, who were they? I want their names. Was it Anna and Joseph? Was it Adam and Eve? Was it Abraham and Sarah? Was it Ananias and Sapphira?
It was Ananias and Sapphira.
Right, wonderful, that is correct. Right, there's a simple one here. What is sin? Is it giving moral law, taking moral law, respecting moral law, or breaking moral law? How would you define sin according to those answers? Is it giving moral law? Is it taking moral law? I hope you can still hear me. Respecting moral law or breaking moral law?
It's breaking moral law.
Yeah, so please, we're not doing the correct things and we are breaking the rules. All right. So we would define that one according to our answers as sin. Jesus was filled with dash after baptism. Was he filled with joy? Was he filled with an evil spirit, Holy Spirit, or forgiveness?
I was filled with Holy Spirit.
Yes, after being baptized by John the Baptist, Jesus was filled with the Holy Spirit. The movement from one place to another is called what? Migration, transport, traveling, or going. When we're moving from one place to another, what would you call that? Migration, transport, traveling, or going? Irene?
Migration.
Right, wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, it's migration, that is correct. Right, water which comes from the underground to the surface naturally is called what? Is it river, spring, well, tap? Irene? Irene?
Yes.
Right, what was your answer there, Irene? We said water which comes from underground to the
Spring water.
surface. Yes, that's very correct. Water which comes from underground to the surface naturally to spring water, and it's very, very clean water. All right. Listen to this one carefully, it's a bit long. Who decides on who has broken the law and the punishment he could get? Who decides on who has broken the law and the punishment he could get? Is it A, the clerk of the court? Is it the witness? Is it the judge or the magistrate? Or is it the public?
It's the judge or the magistrate.
Is correct. That applies to us in our country. It would be the judge or it would be the magistrate. When someone does something wrong, we must do what? Kill, beat, forgive, angry at them. What should we do?
Forgive.
Yes, the Bible says
Forgive
that
him.
we should forgive. This country uses kwacha as their currency. And the answers that I have is Botswana, South Africa, Lesotho, and Zambia.
Zambia.
Yes, Zambia uses kwacha. Do you know any other country that uses kwacha as well for their currency?
No.
Malawi also uses kwacha as their currency. All right. What do we call the areas established by the government to serve the rural areas? Is it shanty towns, growth points, or rural areas? Which answer would you choose there? Irene?
Growth points.
That is very correct. These are growth points, isn't it? In a rural area, you find that there's a place which is called a growth point. There'll be banks, there are some shops there, so people can travel and they can do some business at the growth point. All right. And what do we call these ones? Maize, sugarcane, millet, and rice. These are types of what? Is it exotic trees, tree plants, grass plants, or legumes?
Grass plants.
Right, very correct. Desert trees grown originally from a country, indigenous, exotic, apple, or orange. Irene?
Indigenous.
Right. So trees that
Yes, they
grow
are
naturally in their own country, these are called indigenous. What about those that we bring in from other countries? What do we call them? The opposite of indigenous would be?
is exotic.
Right, very correct. That is exotic. What was the colonial name for the city of Harare? Was it Fort Keita? Was it Salisbury, Sunshine City, or Fort Victoria?
Salisbury.
Right, it was Salisbury. What about Fort Victoria? What do we call it now?
Victoria.
This Fort Victoria, what do we call it now? It is a town as
Victoria
well.
Falls.
We call it,
Victoria Falls.
no, it's not the Victoria Falls, but it is Masvingo. It used to be called Fort Victoria. Those were the colonial names. So Harare was Salisbury, Masvingo was Fort Victoria. Gweru, we used to call it Gwelo. All right? There are so many of those names. All right? The country that uses Pula as its currency is Zambia, Mozambique, Botswana, or Tanzania.
Botswana.
Right, Botswana, they use the Pula and they get that word from rain. Rain is so sacred in their country, it is a desert. So in their language, in Botswana, they call rain Pula. And because it's so sacred in their country, their currency, they also call it Pula. Right, let's go on. People who move from one country into another country are called what? International immigrants, migrationists, travelers, or people. These are people now who are moving from one country to another. What would you call them? Would you call them international immigrants? Would you call them migrationists? Would you call them travelers? Or would you call them people? Irene, what would you call them?
They're immigrants.
Right. They are called
International immigrants.
international immigrants because they are moving. Maybe you're staying here in Zimbabwe, you decide to move with your family to the UK, so you're called an international immigrant. Teeth help us to do what? To make food sweeter, to break down food into smaller particles, to make food particles bigger, or to make food cold. What are your teeth for, I mean?
To make food into smaller particles.
Yeah, so that we can chew it and swallow it, isn't it? We cannot
Yes.
swallow big chunks of meat, but we break it down with our teeth. Lack of iodine causes what? Goiter, food, sickness, or nervousness. Goiter,
Lack of
lack of iodine causes goiter, food, sickness, or nervousness. What does it?
goit.
Yes, it causes goiter, and usually sit here in the neck. It's as if someone has got a lump here. It is the lack of iodine in their food. After using the toilet, we must do what? To our hands, play, hide, heat, or wash. Irene, Irene, after using the toilet, we must dash our hands, play, hide, heat, or wash.
Wash.
Yes, obviously we must wash our hands. And this, the coronavirus, we are encouraged nowadays to make sure that we wash and sanitize our hands. All right. A person with leprosy is called what? A leader, a leper, a learner, a levite.
Lip.
A leper, isn't it? It's as if the person has got a lot of sores, isn't it? So they are called a leper. Religion gives a person a sense of what? A sense of good, tree, belonging, slavery. Why is religion so important in our lives? Gives us a sense of,
Please may you repeat the question. I did hear.
right, the question says, religion gives a person a sense of dash. Is it a sense of good? B says tree, C says belonging, and the last answer is slavery.
A sense of belonging.
Yes, religion gives us a sense of belonging. We all belong somewhere. We know that there's a higher power, isn't it? The exchange of goods for goods is called what? Is it exchange? Is it barter? Going, sharing. Exchange of goods. What do you call it?
Barter.
Yes,
Barter exchange.
trade. Like for the goat, you want a cow, we can exchange, isn't it? Most Africans in Zimbabwe speak their dash at home. Is it English, native or mother language? Is it Ndebele? Is it Chinese? Most Africans in Zimbabwe,
Mother language.
yes, we can call it the mother language, or sometimes we can call it the native tongue, or we can indigenous language. All right. What do we call the washing away of topsoil by wind, water, or rain? Is it soil fertility, soil or soil erosion, or flooding?
Soil erosion.
Right, it is called soil erosion. A family with a father, and many wives. What do we call this family? Is it monogamy, polygamy, one parent, single parent?
Polygamy.
Right, it is polygamy. All right. It is good for family members to work together to promote, is it development, conflict, indiscipline, or problems?
Development.
Yes, as we work together as members of a family, we do more together. We can develop. We all belong to Dash. The first group that we belong to, is it the classroom? Is it the family? Is it the place? Or is it nowhere? Which is the first group that we belong to?
To the family.
Yes, that is the first group that we belong to. It is the family. We use all of these for water, except, is it cooking, bathing, drinking, wasting away? I hope you heard the question. What was your answer?
Wasting away.
Yes, we use
Yes,
all of
wasting away.
these for water.
Wasting away.
Right, that is correct, except wasting away. The wise use of money is called budgeting, calculating, sowing, or weathering.
Budgeting.
Right. When we use our money wisely, that is called budgeting. We decide what we want to buy. We don't just buy anything. All right? Right. Raising from the dead is called miracle, resurrection, giving, transfiguration. Rising from the dead is called,
Resurrection.
yes, it is called resurrection. All right? A person who makes and uses,
Resurrection.
right, that is correct, Ivan. Rising from the dead is called resurrection. A person who makes and uses natural medicine is a teacher, a patient, a traditional healer, or a doctor. What do you call someone who uses traditional medicine?
A traditional healer.
Right, it is called a traditional healer. Right, I think we've managed to answer our questions. And from what I was checking, we've got 49 out of 50 from this paper. So that was wonderful. Good work, Irene. So tomorrow we're going to look at agriculture. All right? So you come tomorrow ready for another
Yes.
question paper for agriculture. You said you can't upload work on Google Classroom. Are you still having the same problem, Irene? Irene Mabikwa? Irene? Irene? Right, so I am going to see you
Yes.
tomorrow. I'm going to see you tomorrow morning, same time, all right? So I'm going to send work to you, all right? I'll talk to you after this lesson and I'll see how I'm going to send the work to you, all right? So for now, have a nice day. See you tomorrow for another lesson. Bye-bye.